This individual showed up to impede a law enforcement operation and assaulted our officers. They responded according to their training and took action to defend the officer's life and those of the public around him. And I don't know of any peaceful protester that shows up with a gun and ammunition rather than a sign. This is a violent riot when you have someone showing up with weapons and are using them to assault law enforcement officers. When you perpetuate violence against a government because of ideological reasons and for reasons to resist and perpetuate violence, that is the definition of domestic terrorism. This individual who came with weapons and ammunition to stop a law enforcement operation of federal law enforcement officers committed an act of domestic terrorism. That's the facts.
We will not allow violence against our law enforcement officers, and we need state and local help, state and local law enforcement, to help us coordinate to get violent criminals off the streets. Mayor Fry and Chief O'Hare just a few minutes ago did the opposite of that by omitting the fact that the suspect had a gun and magazines full of ammunition. In what looks like a situation, again, where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already found us, we're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel, where we post weekly videos, Second Amendment content, cooking videos. We post Second Amendment content. We label this Sunday-Gunday. We've been doing this for about a year now. We post gun reviews, safety tips. We post videos on a lot of fair use maneuvering in uncertain times that we're living in. Also research informed defensive use videos that we see on the news. A lot of fair use we've been posting lately related to the situation in this country that's going on right now. Unfortunately for tonight, we're going to be posting another video. This is the third shooting that has happened in Minneapolis with the operation that's been underway. The immigration consequences, like we told you guys in prior videos, one prior video to this one. The immigration consequences in this country, a lot of people are reacting to it in different ways. A lot of people are lashing out at authorities, federal, local authorities. A lot of violence is going on right now. There's a lot of chaos. So tonight's episode is going to be episode 45, Sunday-Gunday, titled Sunday-Gunday, episode 45. We're going to label this one the Minneapolis third shooting, civilian unalived or deleted. We got to be very careful with the words we use on YouTube so we don't get any videos flagged. That's going to be the topic for tonight. So quick disclaimer, disclosure. Obviously you guys saw a few clips prior to this part of the video that we like to put in there. That way you guys know where we're coming from and what the video is about. And this is going to be another fair use act, fair use protected content that we're allowed to post. That way we don't get any copyrights any copyright strikes from YouTube. So our channel's for educational purposes only. We preach lawful self-defense. We're by no means gun fanatics. We're not giving any legal advice, of course, just simply giving you guys general guidance. We're not claiming to be firearms experts. We just simply want you guys to be responsible with your firearms. If you own firearms, if you're thinking about possibly owning a firearm in the future, we want you to be responsible, careful, and safe with those weapons at all times so you don't make any mistakes. We're coming from 17 years of law enforcement experience. I've been employed as an armed security guard in the state of Florida since 2010. I was 19 years old. Been employed with companies like the Blackwater Agency, employed with companies like G4S, Wackenhut, which is now Allied Universal. Been employed at the federal government, United States Department of Homeland Security. And I'm now currently a police officer. I've been a police officer in the state of Florida since January 2014. So that's just some of the experience we're coming from. Message to the trolls: as usual, we get trolls in the comment section all the time posting all kinds of weird stuff. We're not going to tolerate it. You're simply going to get blocked. We don't have any time for that tonight. So that's message to the trolls. We got shout outs to 3 channels on YouTube that collaborate with us: Gun Freak Nation, Trey 57 Production, and the Alert Zone TV. These are 3 channels that collaborate with us, show us a lot of love on the YouTube platform, as well as our TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. We have a lot of love for these 3 channels. We wouldn't have a channel if it weren't for them. So for tonight, 3rd shooting in Minneapolis. There's been a lot of chaos in the state of Minnesota, Minneapolis in particular. There's been a lot of immigration enforcement happening in Minneapolis. There's been a lot of violence. There's been 3 shootings so far. These 3 shootings, 2 of these shootings have proven to be deadly. They have unalived or deleted 2 out of the 3 shootings that involved civilians basically interfering with law enforcement, interfering with their efforts to conduct this Title 8 immigration enforcement, Title 8 immigration mission that Customs, Border Patrol, and ICE agents are carrying out. We had an incident this morning about 9:30, I believe it was 9:30 when I watched it on the news. It's an incident involving a male. There weren't that many details early this morning, but as the day went by, we got a few more details on who this person was and what the altercation was, or what caused this to escalate. This was supposedly a protester by the name of Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy, 37-year-old male. His career was as an ICU nurse. He was an ICU nurse in the intensive care unit. He was a nurse for about 6 years, from what we looked up. This individual was armed with a 9mm pistol, 9mm semi-automatic handgun. It was a Sig Sauer, tan in color. We put a picture of the firearm in this video after we did the fair use disclaimer. That way you guys could see the weapon that was recovered by ICE agents and Border Patrol federal officials that were carrying out targeted operation that they were carrying out. They were interfered with at one point. I don't know exactly at one point. There are a lot of different video clips online, and there's a lot of different angles of the incident as it occurred, but it was Alex Preddy was the 37-year-old male ICU nurse. He's armed with a 9mm pistol and 2 full magazines of ammunition. He had no identification on him, no identification on his person. Not sure exactly why that was the case. It could be accidental, it could be on purpose. We don't know all the details, but more details are going to unfold. A lot of people are looking at this incident in several different ways because it's just developing and there's not too much information. At one point, this civilian was supposedly directing traffic, directing protesters or civilian personnel, directing them towards the ICE agents, I guess warning them or directing them. At one point it was said that this person was directing traffic, this one civilian that's no longer here. He interfered with federal agents while they were conducting this Title 8 immigration targeted operation. At one point in one of the video clips, I'm not sure if we posted that video in our clips, but there was a video clip I wasn't able to download. There might be another one in there, I'm not too sure. Shouted out, this male shouted out to unalive him basically in the streets. Said something along the lines of, "You're gonna unalive me," or "I want you to unalive me," or "unalive me," something like that. I don't know the exact words or how they came out, but One of these clips were in there. I don't know if we don't have it. We'll try to post it later on. This person supposedly had a permit to carry this firearm, legally carry it, but did not have that permit on him. These things can happen. He might have not done it on purpose. It might have just been something that he forgot. Maybe he left his wallet, but he was armed. He was interfering with federal agents as they were trying to carry out this operation. He was pepper sprayed. He was pepper sprayed at one point when one of the ICE officials or Border Patrol agents attempted to approach, I believe it was a female, or it was a female, I believe it was a female, and was trying to get her to comply, and physically got into some type of a altercation with this female, and this 37-year-old male was seen trying to interfere with this investigation, or this wrestle between this person and other agents. He was sprayed with a chemical agent, OC sprayed and was placed on the ground, and got into a scuffle with authorities. These federal agents got into a scuffle on the ground. There were about 8 uniformed agents, federal agents, that were trying to get him to comply. It was a situation where he was basically disarmed at one point. Not sure if he reached for the weapon at any point. It's not too clear right now. It's not clear if he did not reach for the weapon. Maybe his shirt went up, and then that alerted officials that he was a person that was carrying a firearm, which he might have been legal to carry that firearm. It could be that, you know, it was just a unfortunate set of circumstances that he placed himself in, and this interfered with an investigation, and now he's no longer here. He was hit with several rounds from federal agents. Several agents fired their weapons in his direction, and he was disarmed. They disarmed him. We're gonna get into more about this, but there's a lot of speculation right now in the news. There's a lot of opinion from people saying that he had the right to be protesting armed, and that his Second Amendment should not be compromised just because he's participating in a First Amendment legally protected activity. A lot of people can agree or disagree, but we got to think about the place, the time, and the reason. The place, the time, and the reason. Was it a reasonable place? Was it a reasonable time? And the reason for being out there, was it reasonable to be armed? To be armed with not just your weapon, but he had 2 full magazines of high capacity ammunition, and the whole what type of picture does this paint for a reasonable person? If a reasonable person were to see all these circumstances and everything that led up to it, what would a reasonable person interpret when it comes to all this? It's well within anyone's right to conduct themselves in a legal way, as long as they're not being they're not committing any illegal acts. They're not interfering with authorities, which that was not the case here. He was interfering with authorities. He did interfere, and then things escalated, and he's no longer here. What type of picture does this paint overall? I don't think it paints a good picture. It paints a very bad picture, because now this person is basically being labeled a domestic terrorist. We talked about this the other day. Terrorist doesn't need to be somebody from outside the country. It could be somebody from within. It can be something what they call domestic terrorist, somebody from within that is impeding, basically placing themselves in location and conducting themselves in a manner that's not appropriate, very risky. This might have been legal, yes. This person might have had the right to possess the firearm, not a convicted felon. Possess the firearm even without a permit now. A lot of these states are permitless carry. They're constitutional carry states, but is it reasonable, and is it risky? In my opinion, very risky. We've had incidents throughout the country in the past where it is legal to be doing something, but what is your legal, and then what is your risk? What risks are associated with what you're gonna do and what might happen? Places that you're putting yourself in, situations that you're putting yourselves in. We've had plenty of officers that have been off duty, not in a uniform, carrying a firearm, and decide to get involved in off-duty law enforcement situations and end up unalived by accident. We've had plenty of officers that don't fit the profile or don't fit the picture, depending on what somebody thinks the officer is supposed to look like. We have officers from many different backgrounds. We have federal agents. We have all kinds of different law enforcement in this country. And just because somebody appears to be an officer when they're on duty because they're wearing a full uniform, when they come off duty, that person might not fit the picture or might not fit the profile for someone else to think that that is a legitimate officer, and might be mistaken for a criminal or somebody that's committing a criminal act. And there's been plenty of that in this country where unfortunately the accidents have happened. Law enforcement is not perfect. Mistakes happen all the time. I'm not trying to say that this incident was anything related to that. Just trying to give you guys a reasonable a picture of what a reasonable person might interpret if they see somebody that has a weapon on them and all of a sudden that weapon is displayed in a way. It could be that this person was not trying to commit any type of massacre, or not trying to use the weapon in a manner that wasn't appropriate. And unfortunately for him, the weapon was displayed at one point, and your shirt could have went up, the weapon could have fell out of his waistband, he could have been reaching for the weapon, it could have been many different things. We don't know all the facts right now, but what would a reasonable person paint in this picture? You're going to a protest where you're supposed to be carrying a sign. You're maybe not carrying a sign, maybe you're on a megaphone, maybe you're just shouting, you're blowing whistles. You're seeing a lot of people that are basically blowing on their whistles and honking on their horns so that they can alert other people that there's an ICE operation taking place. This has been going on throughout the country. We're seeing a lot of it. We're seeing it on the news, just people just making all this noise and stuff. And it could be that this was just simple unfortunate set of circumstances, but in the end, a person that's going to an event like this with a fully loaded weapon and with spare ammunition, 2 extra magazines. We don't see anybody carry all that stuff on them unless they're a law enforcement official that's working a post, or somebody that's carrying out their official duties would be equipped with all that ammunition. It's not that we're not saying that it is illegal. You're perfectly within your rights to carry all that stuff on you. Some people do carry. I'm aware of some people that do carry all that stuff on them on a daily basis, but this is not something common that we see. Generally, if somebody's carrying a firearm, they just carry that firearm, maybe 1 spare magazine of ammunition, maybe not a spare mag, maybe a second firearm. Many people engage in different types of measures when it comes to their security and their protection, and it's completely legal. But the picture that's painted here and the picture that's being painted right now, according to the administration, the administration right now is basically calling this a domestic terrorist incident. A person that was going there to cause maximum damage towards federal officials, and we're not going to know all the facts right now. This is just developing, but we're going to be able to determine if this was actually going to be an attack, if this was a planned operation, and if it was or if it was an innocent, just unfortunate set of circumstances for this individual who's no longer here. He's been deleted, unalived. So that's it for tonight. This is a short video. This is about 17 minutes in. We just wanted you guys to be aware of this 3rd incident in Minneapolis, that this has been getting out of hand. This is already a 3rd incident in this month, the month of January. We're not even at the end of January. This is already the 3rd shooting that has happened in the city of Minneapolis. So we want you guys to just stay informed. Once again, keep in touch with your local officials, your local authorities. If you have any questions about anything that's going on, we're going to try to keep you informed and post some more videos like this. That way you guys are aware of what's going on. Once again, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. Add us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel. Once again, shout outs to Gun Freak Nation, Trey 57 Production, and the Alert Zone TV. These are 3 channels that collaborate with us, show us a lot of love. So we have a lot of respect for these three channels. You guys stay tuned, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.